here was in Denmark to see the Danish People Dialogue Festival and got a lot of inspiration on how could they develop the Kenyan People's Dialogue Festival. Also, another very good friend of mine, Rachel, who is our youth sounding board member, both at the embassies but also for Denmark back in Copenhagen. She was there. Impressed. I hope you heard some of that. But also finally proud because we have a huge Danish delegation here and a lot of people who are really engaged in politics, both in Denmark's parliamentarians, former minister, etc., but also engaged in the Danish dialogue with other countries all over the world. So I'm really proud they are here. We even have 25 Danish chef students who will be cooking for all of you, together with 25 Kenyan chef students, and make a fusion food for all of you, which will be, I'm sure, absolutely amazing. But it's also very important for me to highlight that this is indeed a Kenyan event. This is a Kenyan festival. It's done by Kenyans. It's done for Kenyans. And that's how it should be, and that's how it definitely will be maintained. Because democracies are very, very different all over the world. Denmark is a parliamentarian democracy, and the Danish parliament has its way of working. But if I compare the political discussion to the democracy here in Kenya, it is very, very different. So each country is always finding their unique way of a democracy. And I think you Kenyans should really be proud of your democracy and how far you have come in your democracy. I recently spoke to the registrar of political parties, Anne, who has been in Nigeria for doing the observation of how was the elections in Nigeria. And what happened for the first time, she said, in her career, was all the other African countries, they came to her and said, wow, you really did it in Kenya. Tell us about how did you manage? You must be so proud in Kenya of what you did. So all democracies are different, works in different ways, but what is universal and what is needed at a universal level is the dialogue. Because if there's no dialogue around the issues in your societies, you will not get anywhere. Everybody needs to chip in with solutions, ideas, way forward, etc., etc. And that's what politics is all about. Politics is about discussing, finding solutions, finding ways forward. And everybody needs to compromise once in a while for the sake of the country. So I think that's extremely important. And for me, I was walking here through all the booths of the political parties, and I just had a huge smile on my face seeing the ODM booth and the UDA booth very close to each other, because that's how it should be. I mean, you are competitors, but you still need to be next to each other and dialogue for the sake of Kenya. So thank you for that. Finally, I want to mention the youth. It's amazing you are here and you speak. When I was your age, I was driving a tractor and I could never formulate what you have just done here on stage. I'm really, really really amazed about the talent you have, the Kenyan youth. Same with Kenyan women. I get so inspired always. Remember the challenges when you discuss these next couple of days. There is the worst drought in Kenya for the last 40 years. You have 4 million Kenyans who actually go to bed every day hungry. That's almost 10% of the population. Something really needs to be done on this and on the topic of climate change. There is an SDG village where a lot of those discussions will also be held. I'll finish there, and I'll just say I'm so much looking forward to engaging with so many of you the next 3 to 4 days. It's going to be amazing, and I'll also be here to listening to some of the fantastic musicians you have here in Kenya. Thank you so much.